Welcome to the Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast. I'm your host, Steve. With me, as always, is Neil. I just noticed that my mesh shorts are actually on backwards.
It's okay. You're at home alone.
This has been the Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast. We got to go play Splatoon and The Witcher 3, so thanks for tuning in.
The question now is, are you going to, at some point mid-podcast, change your shorts without telling anyone?
Probably. It's bothering me. I literally tried to put my hands in my pockets as it started, and I was like, where are they? And then I looked back, and I was like, fuck. Yeah, so I'm Steve. That's Neil. We're here to bring you all the best and some our minds aren't in this, all right? Like, Neil wants to play The Witcher 3. I just got my hands on Splatoon, which if you've been listening, you know that I've been waiting for it forever. So we're going to give you a great effort, but just bear with us.
Just understand, if this is only 15 minutes long, you know why.
What if we actually posted it and the entire podcast is me just realizing my shorts are on backwards?
But we do the thing where we just like leave a lot of space at the end. So they think like the audio is broken or something, and like, oh, I just can't listen to it.
All right, we'll start like we always do with this week in video game release history. Splatoon. I'm gonna go play. Infamous 2 came out June 7th, 2012. This is funny because we talked about Infamous last week. Yeah, and we also kind of talked about Infamous 2, but let me tell you, nothing came out this week. It was really slim pickings.
All the important things that did come out,
we didn't play.
Yeah, like Half-Life 2, supposedly.
Yeah, we didn't play that.
Didn't play that. I don't. All right, so we're already going to talk about a different game. Half-Life 2 is a big deal because it's the first time there was fill in the blank.
Me? It was the the first person you could like interact with characters or whatever, and like go and like kind of like open world first person. I think that's
it was the first like really story driven game, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, that was it.
Maybe was it just a straight up the first person game?
It wasn't the first person game, but that would be like Doom.
Doom, that's Doom.
It was like you could like talk to people, and like it introduced the exploration. Like you could play through the game and get through it, but like if you took the time to talk to people face to face, which has never been done before in a first person game, you got like the whole story. Like something that you do in almost every first person.
Okay, yeah, because I know it like kind of set the standard for how games could be, but since I've never played it, and I know that if I was to go back and play it now, it just would not have the same effect, I think. And so I also feel like Valve did it, right? Valve knows this, and if they ever come out with Half-Life 3, it will never live up to what it was.
Well, that's probably why it's never coming out, so...
And we've talked about it before, where it's going to be the first virtual reality game, because they have to do something so crazy like that.
I was going to say, that's a good idea. Who suggested that? But it was us.
Yeah, it was us. But Infamous 2, so...
Okay.
Talked about it last week. I did not like it as much as Infamous 1. We talked about the ending. We spoiled the ending. How I really liked the ending. How you could build your own missions online. People really liked that. They took it out for the third one. People were mad about that.
Yes. In a game that really needed content, too, they took out a level creator. So
if you can somehow manage to put a level creator in your game where it makes sense, you should never take that out. Because that's like Trials Fusion is obviously it's made for that. It's made to have a level creator. But just last week or 2 weeks ago, someone made a Call of Duty Zombies map in it, where you had guns and you could go and you could upgrade. You got change and money and you could rebuild, and it's all through a Trials Fusion engine. And someone did a Mirror's Edge clone too with it. First person parkour. Oh, I'm really losing my voice. And so,
oh God, Neil. All right, podcast over.
we got to call it. We got to go. Yeah. So if you can do that, it seems strange why they took it out, because people are way more creative. Like, not to say they're more creative than the developers, but there's always some crazy person out there.
Yeah. And you got to remember, if you're outsourcing it to the general public, you're getting like a million ideas.
That's the other thing. You're getting a million people, and one of them's going to get it right.
So, so Infamous 2, I mean, we don't really have that much to say. We kind of just had to put this on here based on the fact that nothing else we had played.
Besides Earthbound and Link's Awakening.
Well,
Both games we haven't played.
like I plan on playing Earthbound. It's on my Wii U, but I just haven't done it yet.
And now
No,
you got Splatoon,
now I
and
got
so you won't.
and I'll never play it. But all right, Infamous 2, June 7th, 2012, 3 years ago. Which is funny because like 3 years ago, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but that was like firmly in the middle of last generation.
That you're right. That doesn't seem that long ago at all. But
Yeah, but that game's it's funny. 3 years doesn't seem that long ago. That game seems really old.
it does. Exactly. That's the best way to put it. Especially because 2 years ago we had the PS4, right? Or was it just last year?
Yeah.
Dates are hard.
Last year. You know why, Neil? Because it came out in 2011, and I just can't read.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
June 7th, 2011.
All right,
That game, wow, 4 years ago was forever.
dude, one more year makes all the difference though, because 3 years ago
Look,
sounds like
three's a few, four is like that's almost five, and that's half a decade. That's how these.
4 is almost 5, so it's
like I just turned 23, which is almost 24, which is almost 25, so I might as well be 30, right?
It's also almost 22 and almost 21. So you're almost back in school, college.
Well,
Which
I
you
am.
will be. I was going to say you are.
I am going back to college. Anyway. By the way, did you see that Bruce Jenner is on the cover of that magazine?
I didn't.
Yeah, he's a woman now. I don't just looking it up.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, totally do. Misheard the name. Yes. Caitlyn. Right?
Yeah, Caitlyn, yeah, but not with a K.
With a C.
Yeah, with a C. But like, why not? Like, are the Kardashians? You know what I mean?
You raise a good point.
All right. New releases. There's some great ones.
Yeah.
We have. I'll start with the only one that I know what the hell it is, and that's actually I'm interested in Wander. Like I watched a video on it when they put it last week, so we'll talk about it in a little bit. But
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm is officially releasing on the PC tomorrow, even though you could play the open beta for the last couple weeks. I know Neil delved into this a little bit. He played the tutorial. I also played the tutorial, and I wasn't really feeling it, so I didn't pursue it any longer. But it seems like it's a big deal, if not for just that. It's Blizzard's attempt at a MOBA, and Blizzard's got a pretty good background, so...
Yeah, I mean, you remember where I became obsessed with this game for a good day, and then I went away for a weekend, and I came back, and there was just other things to do, and I never went back to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know MOBAs, we don't really play MOBAs. From everything I'm reading about it, it's just an easier version of League of Legends and Dota, like the way Hearthstone is easier than Magic the Gathering. But that doesn't mean it's less fun, it's just...
Hearthstone, man.
Hearthstone is... We'll talk about it. So it's more simplified, but in that simplification, it can still have these crazy matches, and people are already talking about these crazy comebacks and these cool moves or whatever. I don't know MOBAs, but it's a game that I think that if me and Steve actually invested and took time and played together, we'd probably like it. But we got other things to do.
We have like recording this podcast.
Getting it out of the way so we can go.
This podcast doesn't record itself, guys. We put hard work into this.
Can you tell?
Yeah, they can obviously tell. Who couldn't tell? Like right now, I'm on Tinder. So let's get the two that I'm not really sure what these. Do you know what any of these are?
So
I
just looked up Massive Chalice, and from what I know, it's supposed to kind of be like XCOM.
Is this your nickname for your member?
Yes. I think Chalice would be a girl, right?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
you don't want it to be massive.
You do not want a massive chalice.
So, apparently, from what I'm reading from this very small paragraph in Game Informer,
It's a Double Fine game.
Yeah, it's what the Kickstarter for Double Fine was supposed to be, but then it turned into Broken Age, and this is another project off of that because they made so much money, I believe. And from what I'm reading, which I'm guessing you're reading the same thing.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like a turn-based tactical game, and it's got some simulation in there, and you can have your warriors can marry, I think, so it's kind of like Fire Emblem in that regard. It looks cool. It looks very colorful and cartoony, but...
Yeah, I was coming to the PS4.
Also on Macintosh and Xbox One, as I'm reading right now.
Well, I wish it was coming to the PS4.
Oh, is what you said? I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like a game that could do very well.
It's like something I would fucks with.
Yes, it does indeed.
You know,
But so that's a game that we just learned about that looks kind of interesting.
that's good. That's why we listen to our own podcast. And we got the Escapist coming out for the PS4. I'm going to divert to you for this one as well.
I know that people are actually really excited about this game.
Yeah.
And
fools, Neil. They're fools.
think of it, I guess you can think of it like Hotline Miami style,
Okay.
but not as much action. And what you're supposed to do is essentially escape, obviously, from like a prison or something. And so it's all about like, I can't say if it's randomly generated every time, but you kind of like build your escape in different ways. So it's a lot of planning and getting like the right stuff all for one big go, and then you escape. And I want to say it's procedurally generated because it would be kind of annoying if you just memorize what you have to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing that, and usually they'd flaunt that a lot.
Yeah, a rogue, whatever they call them now.
Yeah, so but it basically sounds like it's a top-down little, almost looks 8-bit, and you basically are just planning this one big escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then from what I'm reading, because I just got like the Game Informer up, and they gave it a 6, and they're saying
6.
And so I think it's all about discovering things, like we keep saying. And once you discover it, you kind of discovered it. But there's more things to discover. Like, I think there's different ways to escape, so you can do it in multiple ways. But it's one of those games that sounds interesting, but that I don't want to play. But other people probably would love this game.
It sounds good, but to me it sucks. That's
Well, I'm just not. Very rare for me to play a top-down game. I mean, Titan Souls was about it for the longest time, I think.
Yeah, Titan Souls. I meant to play that.
Yeah, totally should.
I know what Wander is, though.
All right, you take it away then.
Well, Wander is this game on the PS4, which like I don't even know what the fuck you do in it, but I'm assuming you wander around this like mythical island, and you can like fly griffins around this tropical island. I just know it looks awesome. Like, it looks not awesome, like as in like not. I don't know if I'll play it because I feel like this will be a free game eventually. Yeah. But it looks awesome in the sense that it's got really good graphics, which is pretty rare for an indie game. But it looks kind of interesting. If you watch the trailer, it's like, you just go around this island. You can play with 4 friends online, just exploring. If you guys remember the game Africa on the PS3, it's kind of like that to me. Where Africa was just like you'd go around the African safari taking pictures of animals. That's kind of like what it looks like, because that game also is just like based on really good graphics. So it looks kind of interesting.
From what I can tell, and
it's made for people in Australia, so go koalas. Am I right?
Absolutely. That's why we're putting on this for the whole sole purpose. It's funny because they keep like, it's cool that it's an MMO and that you can converse with other players, and so that's really cool. And it keeps saying you can like team up with them, but like I don't know what you team up to do, because you don't have like weapons. You don't do. It says put away your swords and blasters. You won't need them for this MMO. And so this almost sounds like, that one game that's supposedly going to come out at some point called The Witness by the guy who did Braid. It sounds like this is kind of that, but an MMO version and not like a scripted single player. But it does look great.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really cool. It looks like a fun game, but it looks like, I don't know what would keep you busy,
I don't know. I watched the trailer last Friday when they posted the blog post, and I was pretty interested. So,
yeah, like I'm watching it right now, and it looks really cool. But I'm just saying, like, I guess you just explore. But that's what I'm doing in Witcher 3 right now, and I can do a lot more in that game. Am I right?
Oh, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, yes, we will. It's going to be a battle between Splatoon, Bloons 3. Have you been playing a little Bloons 3 lately? Do you know what that is?
Bloons? I love Bloons.
It's amazing.
Tower defense?
Yeah. And I think they came out with an app, and it was on free for Amazon, so I downloaded it, and haven't played it yet, but I know once I do, it's going to be my new life.
Neil, what the fuck is Quent?
I'm adding it right now. We'll get there, Steve. We'll get there.
Oh, that's probably the card game within Witcher 3.
It is.
Oh, see how I just figured it out? Because once you put in parentheses, I knew something was up.
Parentheses, and I put on the same line as
Yeah.
Witcher 3. What
All
you
right.
don't see is me and Steve just write the word penis over and over again to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, we write Google Docs. We send each other little messages during the podcast. You know what I realized last week, Neil? And I also forgot to do it this week? We didn't get any mail, and I forgot to list the email at the end. I forgot to do it.
Well, no wonder why.
Yeah,
That one's
know.
on you.
So there's no mail segment this week. But if you'd like there to be a mail segment, can you email us at qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com? We'd love that. It was good that we gave Sir Caruso a shout out last week. He did comment and he said I'm still here. So
He did?
Yeah, he did. He commented in the last podcast.
Oh, yay.
So that was good to see that he's still around.
Why are you
Yeah, send some mail, guys. We'll ask. Hey, how about this? We're always asking for questions. Why don't we pose you a question? Okay, guys. Now that we're about halfway through the year, what has been your game of the year through the first 5 full months?
Ooh.
You just give us a little write-up and let us know, and we'll respond back to you, and we'll mention you on the podcast. How'd you like that, Neil? Pretty good idea, huh?
I love that idea.
Yeah,
We're going to answer that, no, even if we don't get a question, which we better.
We'll answer it
still
ourselves.
answer it.
And if you guys have been listening, because we started this at the end of January, you probably have a good idea of what each of ours would be. It could be the same, although I think Neil might be playing something right now that took over.
I think by next week, Splatoon.
No, I think Bloodborne.
Don't spoilers.
I'm just saying right now. I think Bloodborne has a very good chance of being the game of the year for the rest of the year, with some challenges from a few people. But I think my number 2 game is going to surprise some people. But if I'm not counting,
is it Costume Quest?
No, that was last year.
That was last year? Oh wow, that was a while ago.
And remember my game of the years last year? It was Bayonetta 2 was my number 1, Costume Quest was my number 2, and I had something really strange as my number 3. Do you remember? Oh, I forget.
It wasn't Shadow of Mordor?
No, it wasn't Shadow of Mordor. It was something really weird.
It was probably some 3DS like Boximo or something.
It was. I think it was a little 3DS game. Oh, it was Mario Golf. I got literally.
Oh, what a weird game!
I'm just saying, I got literally addicted to Mario Golf for 2 months after it came out.
Dude, if I ever get that, we gotta start playing that together.
Oh God, I literally, I just keep that cart in my 3DS at all times because like here and there, I'm like, yeah, I'll play 9 holes, and it's just they're so fast. Oh man, so great. All right, but that's conversation for another time. We shall move on to the news. That's good water. Sorry. So speaking of Splatoon, I want to point out here that Neil meant to write sorry, but he wrote Laurie with an L.
No, dude, it's a lorry.
Laurie.
Oh, you and the Chug Chug, a lorry.
Oh, the Chug Chug. Yeah, that's what they call trucks in Britain.
That's with all the LOLs after that.
LOL. I thought you were saying like sorry because it's like a game I like and then laughing at me.
No. It's
So the Splatoon truck in the UK was stolen. This is for a game. That's a gaming boutique over there, just like GameStop's gaming boutique.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why the hell they call it that, but that's what they call it.
Why do they call it a lorry?
Don't even know. Why do they call
lorry transportation.
Why do they call it a Chug Chug? So they stole the truck, these thieves, and it had all these copies of Splatoon in it, and more importantly, it had this the 3-pack Splatoon amiibos, which are like really, really hard to get. So
maybe that's really why they did it. It's a cover up.
I don't understand like what these guys plan to do though. Like, was just Splatoon in this truck? Like, where are they sitting with like 1,000 copies of Splatoon? I don't get it, but
I looked at in this article.
Yeah.
It explains what a lorry is.
Does it? I like that.
In North America, a lorry is similar to a semi-truck.
Oh, it's probably just like a UPS truck, right?
Yeah, it's not like a giant 18-wheeler or anything. It's probably a UPS truck that had a couple boxes on it.
It's true.
It's just it's funny, essentially, that someone just stole this. I wonder if they really did it for. You know what? It's probably an inside job.
Yeah, it probably is. Probably to stir up controversy so that Splatoon gets some marketing. You know what I mean?
It's not like it's the only Wii U game in the whole year.
So, did you follow everything with FIFA? Yes, last week. Did you see like
The
that FIFA is pretty corrupt?
I know it's very corrupt. I know
Yeah.
that they're currently, I forget where the location is that they're building the next World Cup,
Yeah, Qatar. It's not,
and
and it's not the
there's
next one. It's in 2022. The next one is in Russia.
well, they're in Qatar. They're essentially using slaves.
Slave, yes.
Like literally, they're slaves.
So FIFA's pretty corrupt, but let me tell you, the last straw was including women's teams.
Oh
FIFA
God!
16.
Did you? Did you like? First off, obviously Steve's joking, but did you see how mad people got about this?
Yes, I did.
It's like it's unbelievable, like, and like their arguments never make any sense. I can't understand it.
Well, see, I can sense the argument if this is how you want to phrase it. Nobody is going to play, or let's say not nobody. 95% of your player base is never going to play as the women's national teams. So they would probably rather that development time went towards something else. If you want to say that argument, fine.
Okay.
But like you just can't get mad just because women are going to be in the game.
Yeah, like I get that they're like you gotta focus your assets. Like even that makes sense in any game. Like say Call of Duty when in Ghost they tried that whole squad mode and no one played it at all.
That was so funny. They were like, "Oh yeah, squad mode, it's gonna be awesome." And then like we played that game for like 4 days multiplayer. I don't think we played squad mode once.
I tried it, hated it, was so boring, was not what I thought it was, and so they got rid of it. Like I assume they'll never bring it back. I'm sure they'll try at some point. And so that argument, I understand that they want to focus it, but I think they can't make that claim until they see. Like who knows? Maybe people will play it a ton, and they'll know, and they'll get that data and be like, actually, like 40% of the people play this women's league. Who knows? That's why I'm interested. But the people who are just like so like raging over this, I think is so funny.
I like to rage. You want to rage?
We can rage.
We can rage.
Cue the dubstep music.
You know what we can do? We can rage by playing the 2011 game Rage.
I was hoping you were going to lead it into something else. Like we can rage over Silent Hill's rumor. Hey.
What do you want to say about it?
So I just want to talk about that. I was watching a whole video about this, and I was learning everything I could about the rumor that Silent Hills was being bought by Microsoft.
Okay.
And the whole reason this made sense is because Konami.
I didn't see this at all, but I was pretty busy this weekend, so it happened.
So what happened is it was happening over the weekend. It was just in the past couple days, and the rumor is this was actually Rooster Teeth. The No was the one who broke the story. They had an inside source that was.
So their inside source is full of shit, is what you're telling me.
and the good first minute or two of the video is them proving that this anonymous source is not usually wrong. That he's predicted some very accurate dates of like when the Xbox was going to drop Kinect. It was like June 29th or something. He like predicted that 4 weeks ahead or something. It was like on this day they're going to make an announcement about the Kinect, and he was right. So they're basically proving that this guy is reliable. Turns out he's not. And to be fair, the guy himself said they were just in talks. Who knows? The whole rumor is since Konami's kind of going more towards mobile games, even though they're not necessarily getting rid of their console games, but they want to go towards more mobile because that's what the Japanese gaming is. They're all about cell phones and mobile gaming. They're selling off some of their assets, like Silent Hills. And Microsoft was apparently going to pick it up because originally Silent Hills was going to be PS4 exclusive. Mm-hmm. And since Microsoft was in talks, apparently the rumor was, for good faith, they asked Konami to take it off the PlayStation Store. So no one could play it on PlayStation anymore before they were going to move it to Microsoft. Mm-hmm. And also along with this rumor, apparently the game was 80% done, this is when I started to really doubt it because I didn't think it was that far along. And they were saying if it's 80% done, it could come out within the next year. But, so I did all that research. It was like 5 minutes, whatever. 10 minutes, really. Did all that, and then, thanks to Core Gamer, who we were using, I was scrolling down, and like the fourth feature story was basically saying a statement from Microsoft saying it's not true. They did not buy it. They're sorry that this rumor started, but now I don't know why someone doesn't do that. Like, why doesn't someone, unless if Konami's keep holding on to the rights or whatever, which they probably are, I would 100% get my hands on Silent Hills because everyone loves it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess you would have to get Kojima too because he's the mastermind behind it. But even so, it's like the first Silent Hills game, I think, in a long time that people have cared about.
Well, I was never really following this.
I think it literally happened over the weekend, and you were gone the whole weekend.
I was brother's
So-
bachelor party.
How'd it go?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Yeah, everything went well. But sometimes it's hard, and there's a reason I couldn't play Splatoon. So I mean, on my mind.
I was thinking about that because I've talked about how I don't know if I talked on the podcast that when I first got The Witcher, I went home to play it, but it didn't arrive from Amazon yet, so I couldn't play it, and then I had to go out, and I didn't get back until really, really late, so I didn't play it, and the next day I was also out, so I didn't get to play it, but those were both days I was expecting to play it. You kind of had like a little heads up. You're like, I know I'm not going to get to play this. You like mentally prepared yourself for the absence of it.
I did. I knew that it was going to take a while.
But it still sucks. As I said earlier today, there's nothing better than rushing home to play a new game, and Steve retorted with a very accurate response that we will not say on this podcast because he probably.
I was going to say it, but
I know you were probably about to say it, which we're not going to say. So,
all right. So today on Steam Early Access, Lego launched its own version of Minecraft called Lego Worlds. This is awesome.
Clearly Lego is trying to compete against Minecraft, like literally, and it makes sense because that's what Minecraft is. It's essentially Lego.
If I was Lego, I'd sue them.
Which was, you mean if you were Minecraft, you'd sue them, or Lego, you'd sue Minecraft?
Lego would sue Minecraft, yes. But then again, Lego has Minecraft kits now. They have sets, so they're probably not going to do that because Minecraft probably makes them a lot of money now. So
probably, yeah.
That's weird too, though, because considering that one of their set lines right now is Minecraft, and now they're just like, you know what, fuck Minecraft, we'll make our own. Huh?
It's got to be, and like it's. I wonder if they're going to focus more on the building, and if they're going to have franchising rights. That you're going to be like, hey, come to this Star Wars Legoland.
Well, I feel like they would be they'd be easy to get franchise rights because they already have those rights for their toy sets, you know?
Yeah, like that. I think that's their plan, their strategy, because there's no way they're going to be able to compete with Minecraft as heads up with going gameplay to gameplay because Minecraft already has a user base. It's already got all that stuff in place. But Lego has all the connections to the major studios. And if they can have all those specialized worlds, I think they can draw an audience in some way. But at the same time, I guarantee those worlds already exist in Minecraft. Somebody's already made them. And which is fun. I just also read another article today about Lego tried, I don't know if it was an MMO. It was some sort of online game, like a builder, almost like Siegeworks or whatever. And apparently, everyone was just making penises. That's like what anyone did. And it became so...
The internet is so funny. Like, no matter what, they'll find a way to put a penis in it.
But the thing is, since it's Lego, they were like, they literally had a zero penis policy. And what they had to do is, it became so expensive to pay mods to go scan all the penis stuff that they had to shut the thing down. Like, it wasn't cost effective because they were spending too much money to make sure, scanning all these creations to make sure there was no penises in them. And they were like, no matter what software we came up with, people could get by it. They could just figure it out somehow. And they quoted Minecraft. Like, people can do it in Minecraft because even though it's a kid's game, there's adults play it and stuff too. They're like, Lego is a brand name for kids. It cannot have any of that in that. Which I understand, but it's just funny that this happened like that. The article just came out when they announced this.
Life finds a way, Neil.
Always.
Do you know who that's from?
It's from you, Steve.
It's from Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What's that? Are you even excited for the next one?
I'm gonna see it, but I think it kind of looks terrible.
I did too. My favorite thing about Jurassic Park is like it used to terrify me, and this looks almost all action.
Wait, hold on. Jurassic Park used to terrify you, and that was your favorite part. Yet you will not play any scary games because you lost your penis in a tragic incident.
In a Lego mod.
Yes.
I cannot watch any scary things that have to do with spirits and demons and weird stuff like that. That's what terrifies me. It's something creeps me about it. But if it's something like a very tangible, like, oh, this murderer or whatever is like chasing people or something, I can usually deal with it.
Okay.
So if it's a dinosaur, I can still deal with it.
Okay, dinosaurs. Okay.
But I can't deal with someone riding a motorcycle with tamed raptors running next to him.
What do you mean?
At what point do you think that they were in like a board meeting and they're like, we're going to end this trailer with him busting out on an old motorcycle in the woods with just raptors running next to him?
Probably someone came up with that, and then they came up with Jurassic Park Lost, whatever it's called.
It was one guy. It was like Michael Bay's nephew or something. That's just like wants these raptors to fight on the same side as a human. Like, look, let's just put it in Jurassic World.
Okay. I think I got high hopes. I love Chris Pratt.
He's awesome, and I think he's going to do amazing in it. But I think the movie itself is not going to be.
No, I don't think so.
Because it's never going to compare to the first one, which everyone's going to compare it to anyways. And it's not going to be Mad Max. Have you seen Mad Max?
No, I have not.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
That game keeps reminding me of the game Rage, which we know. I mean, that movie.
Oh, God. Rage was terrible.
Yes, but the world of Rage reminds me of the world of Mad Max without having seen it. Like, you're in like a little buggy and it's a desert post-apocalyptic wasteland.
You know, it reminds me of Borderlands for the fact that the Wild Boys, who are basically the enemies that like say like salt the wound and stuff like that, like those crazy guys.
Mm-hmm.
They all like in the movie they're just like them. That's all they reminded me of.
I just googled Mad Max Rage and there's a bunch of articles saying the same thing. I'm not. Well,
I completely agree. And then there's the Mad Max game, which ties it back into a video game podcast. Yeah. That it doesn't look. It looks like it could be good, and then at the same time, I think it's going to be too. The biggest complaint I saw is that it's like a checklist. Like you'll be in the middle of a car fight, car battle, whatever, road rage, and you'll blow someone up, and it'll be like 1 of 50 cars destroyed. And the person was writing, I can't remember who they are. I think they were Kotaku. They were just like, every single thing they did had a checklist next to it. Like they like drank some water. It was like 1 of 100 water bottles like drunk, drinking, stank.
Yeah, I think we should move on.
Evolve. We should evolve, Steve.
We should evolve, and you can talk about this because I never played.
This is so stupid. So Evolve is apparently a permanent IP now for Take-Two Studios. I assume it's studios. I don't know. Take-Two's the developers. Turtle Rock Studios? Maybe I'm confusing them. Either way, Evolve the game, and it's the greatest thing now is if you read PR statements, and if you fish through them, you can see how bad a game really did. Because they just said how many game sessions were played.
Yeah, game sessions. That's what everyone counts when they're trying to say how good a game has been.
There was something like 200 million game sessions were played, and it was like, you're not talking about the user base, you're not talking about how many players are online at once, and then they said they didn't even sell 10 million copies, which, to be fair, is a really high number, but I think you can get it. I've seen sales where it's like down to the 20s, not low 20s, but like 30s, like high, and that shows it's not a good game. And I think Evolve 2 could be really good. I think the premise is there. They have a lot to work on, and I feel like there could be other games they could be working on instead of Evolve. But who knows?
I don't think I've ever had a game like Evolve where like I was like so gung ho for it for like about a year, and then it came out, and I was just like, no, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, same here. Except I ended up getting it and then selling it. Which I had fun. I did have fun playing
Neil had fun.
But it didn't last. What I always do for a game, and I think I said this on the earlier podcast, because I know you watch all of them in a row, Sir Caruso. If I have a game that's fairly new, and I don't play it for a week, and I don't think about it for a week, I usually sell it. Because it means I don't really care about it at all. and I'm forcing myself to play it the other times. And I think it was the second week of having this game, maybe the third, where I didn't play it at all, and I was like, all right, you got to go, and I got to get something else.
It's probably a good rule to have. Speaking of, the last time I did that was with Monster Hunter.
Which now there's a new one announced.
Did you see that segue?
Yeah, that was a great one. That's better than the other one where I say let's evolve.
Let's evolve. That was pretty bad. Yeah, so this is a quick turnaround to a new Monster Hunter.
I'm pretty sure, I think it's only in Japan first, or probably a year later it'll probably come to the US. People are excited. People love Monster Hunter. I know you didn't, so you don't really care.
I just didn't like it at all.
Which I thought it would be a game you would like. I was a little surprised by that.
I played the demo and I was into it, and then like it just wasn't me, Neil. You know how that works sometimes. You just play a game, you're like, yeah, this just is not for me. But I gave it a fair shake.
You did. You did. You got it. It was good for the plane ride, right? It pretty much killed the time.
Yeah, I played that. I was also playing Majora's Mask on that plane ride.
Oh, that's a good game.
When I went to Las Vegas.
Ooh, good segue there. You know what's in Las Vegas?
Tomb Raider.
I was going to say a bunch of tombs that you could raid. Maybe.
That's where the newest Tomb Raider is set. You're raiding the tombs of dead dreams.
So, Tomb Raider is a game that when the reboot was first announced, like 3 years ago. I'm talking about the first game of the remake. I was so excited for this game, and I was waiting like 2 years for it, and I got it. I beat it like 3 times, and I loved it. And then Microsoft. Evil Microsoft.
Do you remember, like, before we go on, I borrowed this game from you, and what did you borrow from me?
BioShock Infinite?
Yep, you're right. We did a swap.
We did do a swap. And I wasn't the biggest fan of BioShock Infinite.
Well, that's because you're a moron.
I think I mentioned this before, but at the same time, I had this, like, huge issue with, like, my thumb where it's, like, very painful to move it in any way. And so, like, I feel like through almost, like, a shock therapy, but, like, a pain sensor therapy, just all I have playing that game is just the thought of being in immense pain. And so it's just turned me off of it. Or the bad gameplay. That could be it.
Get out of here.
People love that gameplay. I don't think it's that good.
I mean, it's not as good as BioShock 1, but, you know.
I think that it's all... BioShock 1 is more about combining powers and stuff.
Yes! And hacking and all that fun stuff.
And BioShock Infinite's more shooting. But Tomb Raider, so the whole reason I was saying about Tomb Raider is that Microsoft, since it's exclusive for a time at least, and it might not be forever, hopefully, I haven't even watched any of the trailers. I watched the first one, and that's it. And so, as much as I love Tomb Raider, I haven't watched this trailer, and it's just kind of a personal protest. But it was worth announcing because people are really excited about it, with good reason, I assume.
Yeah, since you haven't been watching, I'm sure it'll be good, and I'm also sure it comes to the PS4 about 6 months after it comes out on the Xbox.
The thing is, I might buy it for the PC.
No, don't do that.
I don't want to, though, because that might be the one game that... Since I have a gaming laptop, more or less, and it does pretty well with a lot of stuff, but I feel like that game might be the one that goes a little too far. Not like where it can't run.
Learn from my mistake when I bought the pre-sequel, and then 6 months later it came out on the...
Dude, we got to get that in the summer. We were always talking about that.
Yeah, that's going to be probably July. Pick that up.
Yeah, I'll probably do that too. Let me ask you a question. So tomorrow, since we're talking about releases, the PS Plus games come out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any interest in playing Metal Gear Solid?
I don't know. I'll probably download it and play it. I don't really plan on getting the Phantom Pain, though.
But I feel like this is a good way to wade into it, where you could play something for free. It's literally a demo, essentially. So it's not like you have a lot of story to get right into it. You just kind of jump in, I think.
Here's the deal, Neil. I'm playing Splatoon.
All right. Tell me about Splatoon. Let me ask you a couple questions first.
Okay.
Can I talk about The Witcher 3 first? No, I'm just kidding. Talk about Splatoon. I want to hear all about it. Or if you want to rant about Hearthstone first.
Alright, well, I'm just playing Hearthstone, and I've switched my class to a mage, and I got down to rank 13 in the May season before the ladder reset today.
Actually, let me talk about Quent first.
Okay.
We're talking about cards, because I'll talk about this real quick. So Quent's a game that is a mini game in Witcher 3, and it's essentially a card game with just like Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, stuff like that. You get special cards, character cards. You can collect them. There's a lot of Pokemon jokes where people like collecting them all. Should make Yu-Gi-Oh jokes, but they're not that creative.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
And I played it, and I haven't liked it at all. And I'm really bummed about it because everyone loves it, and I don't love it. And very recently, I started kind of playing it more, and I don't think it's even close to being as good as Hearthstone. But I'm starting to like it a little bit more. And the whole the whole difference of this game being set apart from other card games is that instead of drawing every turn, you have a deck of like 20 cards, and you draw 10 in the very beginning, and those are your 10 cards for the whole game. And you play 3 rounds, and whoever each card is numbers, and whoever has the highest numbers on the board. So you don't like attack the other person. You just put down a number like a 5 or a 10, and they have like little combos. Like you put 2 next to each other, they'll get a bonus point to add onto the board. And so stuff like that. So it's it's fun and it's still random, but I'm not getting into it. I'm a little upset because people love Quent, and it makes me want to play Hearthstone, which I have to get back into.
Hearthstone's so good, man. I'm so addicted.
I booted up for about 2 seconds. I did get the card back because I was level 20 rank, which I know you were 13, which is pretty impressive, I think. I
was in the top 30% of players, they told me.
Wow. See, I got to do that. I got to level 20 basically in one go with my beast deck. It just took me right there, and then I lost once, and I just kind of stopped, and I didn't play it again. But
I got on a 7 win streak with the mage, and then once I got on the win streak, all the stars started stacking.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Got way down.
They'll do it. See, that's how I think I got to 20 quickly, because I know I just won a bunch in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me, like, it didn't feel that long, because usually you have to be like 3 games to move 1 rank, and it did not take that long at all. And then, but I used to do the arena a lot, and I'm gonna stop doing that and just buy cards, because I just want better cards. I don't have any good ones. I have some, but you know what I mean. But to the whole point of this podcast is Splatoon as fun as you were hoping for.
All right. My real Splatoon impressions are gonna have to come on next podcast because I've literally only played it for about 15 minutes.
And the next 5 podcasts.
Yes, that's true. Until Batman comes out.
Oh God.
But I've only dived in. Or dove in.
Divided.
I've only dove into the regular multiplayer Turf War. That's the one where you have to cover the most amount of ground. I have nothing unlocked. I'm using the basic gun, like pretty much like your basic paintball blaster, and I've been having a lot of fun, like just running around, and it's cool having a different objective other than killing each other, but I obviously like to kill people, so I'll go do that. And you can help your team by doing that because there's a 3-second respawn. And it's really cool, the transversal of changing into a squid and like being able to go anywhere your color is. So if you like want to get to like the top of a tower, because this way you can just like be on top of the tower and get all the floor from up there. You can like shoot the entire side of the tower and like turn to a squid and run up the side of it and get up there. So stuff like that's pretty cool to get like different height gameplay. Go on.
Okay, so I know that the main mechanic is the fact that you paint the level, your color, and then you can turn into a squid and move really fast in that color. So you can move up vertical and like vertical walls. Like, you don't have to stay on the ground. You can like, if there was a gap and there was a wall, you could like kind of go up on that wall to get across the gap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's really... See, I didn't know that. I thought you kind of still had to stay on the same path.
No.
But it just made you go a lot faster.
All the levels are like 3-tiered. It's really cool. And then like if you're like on the top of a tower, and you can like squirt the ground in front of you, turn to a squid, and then get some momentum and jump over to the other tower, and then be over there. It's I haven't even gotten deep into it. There's like all these different weapons. They're doing this really cool thing of like, they're using the community to determine when new stuff comes out. So the average level of the players hit 15 last night. So in celebration of that, they're releasing a new map and a new gun at 10 o'clock tonight. or it's 7 o'clock Pacific time, and then they're gonna give everyone a new challenge, and then when they're done with that challenge, they're gonna give out another new map and another new gun. So stuff like that's really cool.
I like that. It sounds like that just shows that they're listening to the community,
Yeah,
and that's always cool. You always want that a
it's
developer to
got
do that.
it's got an awesome art style. Obviously, the paint's cool because every game you're in, the paint colors are randomized. So like every game has a different feel. You know what I mean? Like so, and you'll be happy to know that if you're colorblind, you can lock the paints. So like they won't randomize. You can pick two colors that are opposite for you. So like,
Okay.
you won't get confused. Like I know you can see blue and orange differently.
I'm glad that you always think of like the colorblind thing now. I feel like whenever you play a game,
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
I
Neil would
saw
hate this.
I saw it in the settings, and I was like, oh, Neil would be able to play this because like I did get into a match that was like lime green versus pink, and I'm like, yeah, Neil probably wouldn't be able to
Oh,
see
God.
this.
Lime green is the worst color ever discovered.
So it's really fun. Um, it's just like some when you get into like a fight with someone, and like you're like oh like let me do a quick evasion. You're running away, and then you like squirt the wall, then like you go into your squid mode and run away. Because when you're a squid, you move twice as fast as when you're a human.
Can you still be shot?
You could be shot, but you like only your eyes show, so it's like really hard to get you. So like you can like pop up behind people and shoot them. It's really fun. Uh, the music is awesome because every game is limited to 3 minutes, which is literally the perfect timing. Because like by that time, it takes about a minute for everyone to get out there and start shooting. By about a minute 30, every part of the map is covered in some kind of paint, and the last minute 30 is trying to cover up what the other team's done while protecting your own paint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's perfect timing, and the music because everyone's at 30, it's set to ramp up to get faster and faster, just like Mario Kart. So like in that last 30 seconds, the music's like really really fast and everything's like really hectic, and people are like throwing paint bombs everywhere, trying to like get their team to have more coverage, which is really fun. I played like 5 matches, which is fun because like 5 matches is like 20 minutes. But the game has this great thing of like you're checking the gamepad, which shows you like a 3D model of the map and like where paint is or whatever, so you know. And then at the end of the match, during the match, you have no idea who's winning. At the end of the match, it shows an overhead view, and it like slowly fills up this meter until one team gets over 50%, and then that team's called the winner. So like I had this one game where we won 51-49, and like that suspense of like
Wow.
when you're coming up, and then like it hits and like fireworks go off. It's really rewarding. It's a lot of fun. So like that's really cool. Oh man, I got a lot to get into here.
Oh, you got time?
It's awesome that like so like you're fighting and you're like, oh, like he's over by the enemy territory, and I just died. I can click him, and you literally get shot out of a cannon and land right next to him, so you can start helping him no matter where he is. It's like a really cool presentation of like how they do that.
That's cool.
You get all this gear, and like all the gear has like upgrades and stuff too. So you can upgrade all your gear. You have headgear, a shirt, and shoes, and a gun. And all that stuff has a separate leveling system than your own character. So like you have like a pistol, and then like you level up your pistol and you get faster reload, or it uses 50% less ink or something like that. And then basically you can put money in to upgrade those. So like you're like, all right, well my pistol's level 1 and its perk is level 1, so I can upgrade the perk to level 2, using the coins. And like the gear has the same stuff. Like some gear makes you be able to take more damage, some gear makes your spread wider. So it's really cool going through, and it has like a little like slot machine mechanic of when you get new gear, it kind of like pulls it, and you can get like rare gear, so and so. It really, I know this is terrible to say, but it kind of reminds me of Destiny in the fact that it has like a tower where like you go to everything, like from like this main hub, you hit the shops and you go to online multiplayer and you go to single player, and like with all that gear, with all the different stuff that you're leveling up. But it's fun. Like it really is fun. I've been enjoying it for the first 15. When I'm signing off here, hopefully in about 10 minutes, I'll be hopping right back in and getting a full 3 hours in. So
Yeah, from what I've heard, that it seems very Nintendo-ish to get away from a lot of menus by putting you in a central hub to deal with like getting new gear and stuff like that. So you're not just like Call of Duty, you dig through menus and menus and menus. And I've heard a lot of Splatoon that it has tons of customization like that. So they're like, look, it's good for kids because you can just like kind of play around. There's colors. You don't have to be good at shooting people. You can just do like ink blots or whatever. And then they're like, for the hardcore gamers, there is a very deep and complex game here that if you like, because you can still party up with people. Like, I know you can't do voice chat or anything.
Yeah, you can party up with people.
And so people were saying how they were like getting their little squads or whatever, and they were just getting on Skype to still communicate. And they're saying like it's still a very, very tactical game. Like it's not. It is.
And they have two call outs, and they both work pretty well. One of them says "come on," and then it puts like a little bleep and shows you exactly where the person is, and that's like, hey, like help me over here. And the other one is "booyah," which pretty much people use to say like, all right, this one is covered. We don't have to be here anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like people just use that, and they're really easy to use. You just tap up or down on the D-pad, and like people have been using those pretty well. And like I don't know what else I'd really have to say other than come here and help me, or don't come here. I have this under lockdown.
Well, let me ask you, Steve. Can you do callouts?
Yes. Shut the hell up.
You mean like that guy over there has a shotgun?
Yeah, that'll work. I was once asked if I could do callouts to join a clan on Call of Duty. This is all because I got a pallet or whatever they call them. A Loki in Ghosts, and like I wasn't even good, so like I'm trying to join the clan, and they're like, "Yo, let me check out this kid's stats." And then they looked at my KD, and the guy goes, "Oh, .92."
Like just a .92.
Like it was the most offensive thing he's ever seen in his life.
But
also, the clan was called 13, and they told me I could be the 13th.
This was like at the end of the night. We're both about to sign off, and then Steve gets this message like, "Nice Loki, man." Like this real like. And I just sat listening to Steve. He would leave the party chat, talk to them, and to come back on and just make fun of them and be like, "I could be number 13."
I could be number 13.
And then you would just like, you had to do like a one-on-one match, and they were watching you, and they'd be like, "Nice kill, man. Yeah. Nice kill."
Yeah, I know. It was so stupid.
But but yeah, that reminds me of like Battlefield. If you hold, you can mark people, which a lot of people, I don't think realize, but it puts them on the map by hitting the R1 button or the right trigger. Mm-hmm. If you hold it down, like a wheel pops up with all these sayings. I think there's only like 6 of them, maybe 8. And since it's Battlefield, it's really like, there's like, get in, I need a ride, drive, get down, move. And like, if people use those effectively, they can say like hide, cover, like run, like, and so those quick commands, which I think Bloodborne as well, where you have predetermined inputs are starting to become more popular, and I'm okay with it because usually that's all you need. Like you don't need to like sit in my hero. Oh yeah, there's like a guy in the top left, and I feel like I think we should like loop around. It's like, oh man, are you kidding me, man? And it's like freaking out. It's like, oh man, that's terrible, and stuff like that. When all you have to do is hit one button and be like, booyah or whatever, and everyone knows what that means.
Yeah, booyah means hey, we're clear, or over here, or come here means hey, I need help.
Yeah, so that's cool. I really like that idea in that system.
It's cool. I'm really looking forward to diving more into it when we're done with this.
Diving into the ink of Splatoon.
Pretty much. That's basically when you turn into a squid, you dive into it. So Witcher 3, what's your Witcher 3 update?
So I told Steve I basically set this weekend aside to play it because when I first got it, as I said earlier, like I wasn't able to play it, and I've only been able to play it a couple hours. I played it a lot, I'm not gonna lie, but it's only been a couple hours at a time. And I was looking for just a long, like 8-hour marathon sesh where I want to be sitting there the whole time and get up and do stuff, but it'd always be there, it'd be my thing. And I got to do that this weekend, and it happened to be the same weekend where there was an experience glitch.
Oh, good.
And I thought I had it, but I don't think I do. Like, because people weren't sure. Some people have it, some people don't. It affects some people in some ways and other people in other ways. So it was a very hard bug to pin down. It wasn't like everyone on the Xbox One will not be able to do these quests. Like, it wasn't like that. And so I did a couple side quests, and I didn't get experience for it. So I'm like, oh, I totally have it. I have this bug. And I wasn't going to do the next main quest because the way the leveling system works is usually if you level up, let's say it takes 500 experience to level up. The next time to level up, it might take 600, and then 700, 800. And this, it's always 1,000 for the first 20 levels, and like 1,500 for the next 20, then 2,000 for the 20 after that. And so even if you level up, you'll still need that same amount of experience to get to the next level. And so if you were doing a quest, an easy quest for 25, if you do that later in the game and you still get 25 points, it's still worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't getting any experience, so I was like, well, this sucks. I'm not going to do a main quest because they will give you 500 to 600 versus a side quest which will give you like 25, 50. And so, and then it turns out that someone finally on Reddit explained how the leveling works, and that I actually don't like this, but any quest that's 6 levels below you will no longer give you experience.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I don't. So people are like, all right, well then I'm never going to do those quests, and other people are like, I have to do them then at a certain time. And so this whole weekend, I easily played at least 12 hours, most likely more. I didn't do a single main quest until I think late Sunday night. And that's because, and I did all these quests that didn't give me experience, but they would still give me weapons and armor. So they still give you rewards, which if you're over leveled, you just dismantle them for like iron ore and stuff like that to repurpose into a new armor.
Mm-hmm.
But their stories with all these quests made it worthwhile. And like one quest I started, and I was like level 21, and the quest was like level 7. And then it opened up a new one, and a new one, and a new one, and eventually I was doing a quest from that quest line that was like level 24. So like it unlocked other ones. And so the whole weekend I was just exploring and doing side quests, and there was still enough content where I didn't have to ever do a main quest, and I still experienced the game like totally. Like there was like new characters, all these cool stories. I was hunting all these really cool monsters. I got new gear. There's like treasure hunts where you read a notebook and be like, oh, I left this armor at the bottom of the ocean when my ship sank, and you have to like drink a potion to breathe longer and put like this night vision potion on so you can like swim down and get it. And it's all this cool exploring in the world. And I finally just started, I think I just started Act 2, and there's 3 acts. So this whole time I've been playing for like 2 weeks, easily 25 hours, easily. It's all been Act 1, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is.
It sucks that they keep your time, they track how long you've been playing, but it's busted. People played for like 5 hours and said 5 days, so I can't gauge it that way. But I'm pretty sure Act 2 and 3 are a lot shorter than Act 1, because it's more like their stories coming to a conclusion. But I'm still absolutely loving the game. It could be, you'll find out next week, if I like this more than Bloodborne. It's entirely possible. I will say the Reddit is not nearly as good. Bloodborne's Reddit is like perfect.
That's a big thing.
It really is. Like Bloodborne's Reddit is like so perfect. And this one is like, I'm a little mad actually. So there was this one really cool, like, people always post screenshots because they're so cool looking. And I posted one, and it was basically like this lighthouse with all this fog around it and like the moon. I was like, oh, this is out. I think my caption was literally, absolutely beautiful. I think there's something like that. No, like it got like 1 like, that was it, went away. The next day, someone had the same exact picture, but like slightly different, so it wasn't like copied. They did it themselves, obviously. And I think they said incredibly beautiful, and it was like on the front page for like 24 hours. And I was just like, I was even like in the comment, I was like, I just did this yesterday, and I got a couple points though. But a lot of people, their spoilers are really bad on it, and the mods are trying to get that down, because a lot of people are just posting spoilers that they don't consider them the spoilers, but it would be like a character that you think isn't in the game, and they'll just have like a picture of the character saying like something funny, and people are like, no, that's a spoiler. Now we know where that character is. And so it's not, if I'm voting Reddit of the year, still gonna be Bloodborne, but Witcher 3 is easily one of my favorite games on the PS4 since I've gotten it. I think as insane as it is, I think I have like 50 games for the PS4.
Well, that's a lot.
And it's like, they give you 2 a month, right? And I've had it for 2 years, basically, little less.
24.
Yeah, so that's half of them right there. And then, yeah, so it goes up pretty quickly, especially when you start getting all the $10 games. But the whole point is, couldn't be happy with The Witcher. It's still buggy, which is annoying. One time I fast traveled somewhere and my guy wouldn't stop jumping. Like no matter what, he just kept jumping as I moved him. And eventually I think I jumped into water and then he swam and then he got out and he was fine. So weird things like that. People have a lot worse ones. They have some game breaking ones. Clearly the experience bug is a pretty big one.
Mm-hmm.
People are claiming though that bug has made them slow down and appreciate the game more. Because like me, I was rushing through the story, and the whole weekend I probably did like 20 or 30 quests. Saw a whole new world. I wish I didn't say that.
A whole new world.
And like I guess the last thing I'll say about it is how diverse the quests are. Like one time, and it does a really good like moral, not just the choices but the world itself. Like one time I was hunting a monster, and this guy in the village was saying like, "Oh, these two people were arguing. One was saying don't kill it, one was saying kill it." And then like I killed it, and I get back to the village, and one of the guys killed the other person and like took over the village, and and my character is just like, "Oh, I like hunted the wrong monster." It was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this big city, and I was doing this one quest that was literally like this really comical, stupid. We're gonna put on like a play. We're gonna get this little, I don't know, actress and actor together, something like that. And then out of nowhere, this person gets like kidnapped and like mutilated, and then I'm after like this serial killer that's just killing everybody in the place, and I have to like find clues and stuff like that. So it's really diverse, and like every quest, like some of them feel repetitive, but a lot of them don't. And so it's very rarely fetch quests, and it's usually a deep story behind why you're doing what you're doing. And although usually it involves tracking in some way, every battle can feel different, and you have to use different tactics and stuff. So I cannot speak more highly about this game. I would recommend getting The Witcher 3, no matter, even if you don't think it looks good. This whole rant has just been trying to get Steve to get it, which he never did.
I probably will never get this game.
The only way for you to get this game, it has to be like $20 or $30, I bet, for you, and there has to be nothing else. Like you have to like, it's not that there's nothing else coming out. You have to have nothing else that you're currently playing. And then you'll be like, I need a new game, and then you'll probably get it.
Well, I don't see this happening. I'm sorry.
Sadly, it probably won't.
It just doesn't look like my kind of game. But I digress.
You digress. I've just been ranting for, I don't know. We both had good rants in there. I think before we started the game and what we've been playing, it was only 40 minutes. So I think we both just went 10 minutes each.
Well, that's decent. But now I'm going to wrap it up because I really want to play Splatoon.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. This has been the 19th Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us at KoalafiedGGS. If you want to follow us on Twitch, we're at twitch.tv/KoalafiedGamerGuys. If you're on our YouTube channel right now, make sure to subscribe to get a little notification on YouTube every time we post a video, which are mostly podcasts. So if you listened to this far, you probably enjoyed it. Make sure you answer our question that we posed earlier. That's to qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. And the question was, so far through 5 months of 2015, what is your game of the year? And give us a little reason why. We'll read it on next week's podcast. We'll give you a shout out, and we'll tell you what ours is, too. If you liked our intro music, head over to soundcloud.com/gearheadedm. And I think that hits them all, Neil, right?
I think so. Let's go play Splatoon. Or you play Splatoon.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday with another episode of the Qualified Gamer Guys podcast. And just give us some props for not recording this one on a Wednesday. So, all right, guys. Later.